Hi folks, this is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant, coming at you today with another artistic, not caricature. Oh, it could apply to caricature, so we'll call it a caricature. Quick tip. It involves collecting books. Like here's one, for instance, Jack Russell Terriers. Now the reason why I have this book in particular because when my dog, my Staffy, American Staffordshire Terrier, also known as a Pit Bull Deluxe, after 14 years he died, and we got what we originally wanted, which was one of these little guys, a Jack Russell Terrier. It's a Jane Russell Terrier, really, because it's a girl. But I digress. What's good about this particular book, and bear with me, I'm going to come to the point of why I'm showing you this, is that it's loaded with these great reference pictures of Jack Russell Terriers in all kinds of situation, the different breeds, the different subtle nuances of their appearance, what have you. Just loaded, with a lot of great pictures. And I noticed that Barnes & Noble, in particular, if you go to their bargain book section, are filled with books like these for like $5, $6. They're usually overstocked books, or they're books that they just can't get rid of and they don't want to throw in the trash. They want to make a profit off of it. Here's why you should regularly take advantage of the bargain section of Barnes & Noble. As artists, whether you are a caricature artist, a cartoonist, or an animator, you want to be very familiar with that section, because oftentimes you are going to be called upon to draw maybe a Jack Russell Terrier. Maybe you're called upon to draw a tank or an airplane from the 1940s, or a particular type of firearm, an AK-40. I'm not familiar with guns. Not all black people are, contrary to popular belief. But I digress again. You might be called upon to draw a particular kind of firearm from a different era. And if you go to the bargain section, they're filled with all of these obscure books on firearms and on planes and on different breeds of dog and on jungle cat and on dinosaurs and on every conceivable subject, and they're dirt cheap. What you want to do is you want to grab up as many, at least one book a week, just at random, even if you're not interested in the subject. Just grab one book a week. Like I said, they cost $5, $7 the most. Grab them up and put them in their library, because a time will come, if you are serious about cartooning, animation, and illustration, where you might have to draw a picture of a plane, okay, or a rifle in a certain position or from a certain era, or even a Jack Russell. And what you don't want to do is go on Google and be searching for hours and hours for a picture that may or may not come up. I mean, hey, I use Google all the time for images. I use YouTube, especially for images. That's another trick. YouTube, you can go on there and find great video. Always go to video first, if you can help yourself. But books are an excellent, excellent resource. Okay, and it's, a very inexpensive way of having your own, in the old days, they used to call it a morgue or a swipe file. You come there, man, I want to know what a, Jack Russell, I want a picture of a kid holding a Jack Russell Terrier. Oh, well, there's a picture of a kid holding a Jack Russell Terrier. Believe me, folks, this has gotten me out of more trouble, just the habit of picking up books at random and just having them in my library, so when a client calls for a particular thing, I can have that thing. And believe me, when you start getting serious about illustration, when a person asks for a picture of something specific, they don't want a generic. they want that specific thing. And if you have these books in your library, it'll add more power to your drawing, and you'll draw with a lot more confidence. So that's my quick tip for today. Make sure you go to Barnes and Noble and stay in the bargain section. Trust me, it's going to be worth your while. This is Elgin Subway Surfer Bowling, your creative caricature marketing consultant, and that's my quick tip for today.